I'm going to go ahead and puncture in here. Push that in. It's going to help push the air into the vial, which will push the medication back out on me. We're about to take Eric off, and we decided to come live because we're going to give iron today, and we want to show you how to give iron through the machine. So I'm going to put my PPE on. Coming over here to my clean area. And we got the vial of iron. So let's go ahead and bring that camera up here. I want to show you some stuff up close here that we're going to do. There's a couple things here I want to show you. First thing is the alcohol. It has an expiration date. Okay, make sure your alcohol is good. Your syringes have an expiration date right down here. And then my needle has an expiration date right here. And then we're going to go to our medication. We're given 100 milligrams of iron, and that expires right here. Okay. So I'm going to draw this up. This is a vacuum in here, so I'm going to draw that up. Careful not to touch any of the tips. We're going to pop this off. This is technically clean underneath, but we're going to wipe it with alcohol. Okay. Now I'm going to pull back on the syringe. Probably to like 3 mLs. I'm going to go ahead and puncture in here. Push that in. It's going to help push the air into the vial, which will push the medication back out on me. So it's not tough to pull out. I'm going to pull out all 5 mLs here. Okay, so we're up to 5 mLs. Medication's done. Now I went ahead and did a needle recapping, but if you want to do it the safer way, you will put this down and you do a one-hand swoop. And this will come up like that. All right. So now you see here we're done. The machine says 000. On the iPad, 000.
You see the blood flow rate is still going on, even though the treatment is done.
And then now everything's 000. We're gonna get Eric. We're gonna grab some gauze. We're gonna get Eric a glove.
And you can see the next stage has the exact same thing I'm seeing, 0000.
Just like we do in the center, we still hand out a glove, right? Eric doesn't want to get blood on his fingers, and then he starts touching the walls or the equipment, machines. So now what we do is we go ahead and we hit this, unlock it, and now we have to hit stop. And see, now if you look here, I have more buttons that are lit, so I can hit stop. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my syringe here for the flush back, but I'm not flushing them back yet. I'm actually going to clamp, disconnect, careful not to touch any tips, right? These are supposed to be sterile. Keep that like that. I grab this through my pinky, and this is for Eric to give back the iron. This is how he's going to give the iron back. I'm going to unclamp it for him. Now I take the needle and I cap my syringe to keep that sterile too. So I'm going to put that down and I'm going to go ahead and connect here.
And you see that 277. Now, mind you, I said earlier that 277 is out already.
You got to make sure you got 277 in the bag. If you have less than 300, you should always change your bag out. So you see we have more than 300 in there. So we're going to go ahead and hit the rinse back button, which is the water button here, right? See that? Now, see, the only thing I can touch is what's lit. So I'm going to hit this. Watch, magically, my clamps are unclamped. It's going to start returning the blood back.
And mind you, that 277 that I'm receiving right now, that was 20 minutes before my UF started. So that 277 is already multiplied with the UF already.
It's already been taken out of them.
So the machine doesn't want you to have no excess fluid at all on it.
Now I put a little tape down here in case the table's dirty. Put the tape there. Hang this on the edge. Like I said, the machine's rinsing back. I'm not doing nothing, I'm just letting it do its thing. See, 84 mLs is what's left, 78. It's counting down for me. Now Eric gave his iron back, so I'm going to jump in here. I'll swap out the syringes with him. Open this back up for him. Now the machine stopped, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my other syringe. I'm going to come back here and clamp these and flush the venous line. Now I want you guys to take a look. A big difference from your center to home is the how clear and how much blood gets rinsed back to you. Right? We're not in a rush to go home. We're not in a rush to go anywhere. So every little bit of his blood is given back to him. You can look and see, here's your pod. It's got a little bit of clotting in there, right? Not too bad though. You look up here in the dialyzer, this is the header of the dialyzer, it's called the header. So a little clotting there, but we look at the side of the dialyzer, look at the fibers. The fibers are nice and clear, very little streaking. And this machine's done. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this down here. I hit it once. I'm going to hit it again. Hit twice, twice there. Come on. There you go. Now it says continue, go, which would be the green, or if you drain, hit stop. So we're going to drain it. There's very little in here. You want to see what's in there. It's very little. So we're going to go ahead and hit go. It's going to start draining. And this is beeping. We don't need this machine anymore. I'm really just going to turn it off. I'm going to go ahead and unstring the lines here in a second. We'll put that there. We change my gloves. We're going to pull the needle now.
emphasize, see, as he said earlier, the lines are like before I even started treatment. How clear they are.
Nice clear lines.
Yeah, you can see this. It went from treatment mode into post-treatment mode. So it does that automatically. No guesswork, no nothing.
Now, usually when I put my tape on, I tab at end. There's a saying, tab at end, make a friend. So if you wanted to, if I wanted to teach him how to pull those needles out, what I would do is I would have him bend his wrist up, and I would have the needle held in his hand, and the other hand would hold gauze, and he would just straighten out his hand and pull the needle out. This is just a little nugget there, just throwing out there to you. Again, when you tear the tape, here's another nugget. Tear the tape from the inside out. If you go from outside in, it hurts more. Now, I only use 3 pieces of gauze. I take one, fold in half again. I roll up into a little bit of a ball. This just helps put a little pressure on the site. Again, my end's tabbed, easy to grab, real gentle. Make sure you're in the moment right now. Don't get distracted by anything around you. What I like to do is I like to pull the needle out just a little bit, sometimes twisting left and right. Pull back, just try and get the needle. I'm going to put this right over the site. Again, this is not sterile gauze, just clean gauze. And then I pull that right out. Now, if you wanted to put something sterile on here, you could do alcohol, an alcohol pad. You also could do a betadine. But you should do what you're instructed to do. This is what works for us. Again, we know the gauze, even though it's not sterile, but we know the gauze we're reaching into the drawer and getting has only been reached in by Eric or myself. So there's no other patient's germs in there that we're going to be exposed to.
Very important.
I just leave the one tape on him while he holds. And then I go ahead and I usually start stripping down the machine. So let me show you a little bit about that.
Let's see how fast it is to break it down.
Yeah, this video will be very short. If you're just joining us now, welcome to the ENT show. This is the ending. We're doing a very short clip of just how to give medications, how to strip the machine down. I think you all will like how fast this works. There's really only 2 lines you gotta look at. One is the yellow, which is your drain. Yellow means P. So we're gonna clamp that, and then I'm gonna grab one of these orange caps and put it on here where I disconnect. Again, not touching any of the tips or anything. This isn't sterile, but you want to keep it as clean as possible. It's very tough to pull off. Okay, so that's just about ready to come apart. So I'm going to take that off, screw that right on. I'll put that off to the side just for the moment. I'll connect the yellow one, yellow for urine, back up here. I disconnect these 2, the green. The green, I just let that drop right in there. And I usually use the pod to connect here. Again, the pod, just so you guys know, I want to show you that again. The pod disconnection is just taking this here, unscrewing it, and pulling it back. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grip hold of here, the outer portion, turn that to the right and pull back. While I'm doing that, it's kind of loosened, so I'm gonna screw this up again, or screw this back again, and that comes out. So I'll tie these two together. This is really a lot of talking to talk you through it. It's not that hard. This opens up, and I pull here, and I pull here, and I pull here. We'll lift this up. I lay this here. I lay my lines here. I just roll it up like a little sleeping bag. That's it. That's everything right there.
That's the whole setup.
That's the whole setup. This is the cartridge. When you're done, and I just shut the door, pull down the handle, and I throw these little caps and stuff out that we saved just in case if we ever did need them for emergent purposes. I'll put that right in the black bag here, which I missed. Right in here. Oh, sorry about that. They go in there. I got a little bit of a glare from the shield. Couldn't see that there right. I'll hang these up here. We'll wipe them in a minute. Now, you might be able to hear the difference on this machine right now. It sounds like a little popping noise is going on in there. And that's the fluid being drained out. And now it's got air. So you can see the air right there. That means it's all drained already. So it's just air popping through there. Again, I'm going to pull this out and show you. I told you I put this to the side, so what I do is I just slip it right in here. I'll pull this out. I'm going to show this to you. This bag is empty. The bag's empty. So what we got to do though before we can pull it is we got to hit stop. Stop draining. It says it's paused, so we're going to hit this in again. And it says drain complete, more, go, or done, hit stop. So we hit done. Now it's going to flush. It's going to do some flushing for about 2 minutes.
And that's not self-explanatory. It's simple.
It tells you what to do. I'm not going in here hitting a whole bunch of buttons. I'm just hitting the red and the green. That's it. And these blue buttons are all settings and stuff which you don't touch. And
that's another safety feature that you cannot override this process neither, because it won't allow you to open up those doors at all. So you gotta go through the steps.
Yeah, go through the steps. Just know that the machine talks you through it all. Even if you make a mistake, it's not going to go forward. You're not going to be able to really make a mistake on this. But like I said, this is going to take about 2 minutes or less, and it'll tell me to clamp the blue clamps. And meanwhile, I can take this off. I clamp that. Oh, it's still flushing. Let me just let it go. I don't want to rush it.
Linda asked, can you explain to me again about the tape inside out?
Yeah, so when you're taping the inside of the arm, pulling it from inside to the outside will actually hurt less when it's being removed versus going from the outside inward. And I'll show you on my next needle pull that I do. Again, I'm just going to disconnect this here. It tells me to close the blue clamps. I could close this blue one, but we choose not to. because it's actually clamped up here. But we're going to go ahead and clamp the two ends. Unscrew that. That just hangs down. And now we hit go. And you hear the clicking. 3 clicks, everything's loose. Lets the door open. You can pull that out. Lift up the blood pump, pull that out, shut that. Shut this. Hit the green button to start a new batch. Press go. So I usually hit go, or do I wait?
Yeah, you wait.
I usually wait. So I don't hit go right now unless I'm going to put a batch in. And what I do is I just take this and I roll it. I just roll it up like a sleeping bag. That's it.
Yeah, it's dry, empty.
Nice and empty. Put that right in the trash once again. I'm going to change my gloves and I'm going to add some more tape. And I'll go over that again with the pulling from the inside to the outside. Okay. Done?
Done, sir.
Okay, great. So go ahead and let go. So when he lets go,
I'll go really slowly just in case.
I'm just looking to make sure it's not going to seep through the gauze. Okay, now I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to put this kind of like a Y, so that the other pieces are right on top. Right? It's got this little bit down here. And again, I'm going to go with the top portion, but now downward on a little bit of a Y angle. Right? So it's right there. So all he has to do is rip the one, and all three are going to come right off. Now, Linda, you're asking about the tape. So this is the inside of his arm. More sensitive, as you know, right? So if I was to rip from here out, see how his hair is here? Can you come in close and see that hair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this hair here would be torn off if I go this way. So what I do is I'm going to go where my little tab is. And see, I just went over those hairs. It didn't rip it out. See, he's got hair here. It's not ripping it out. Real gentle. If I would have went the other way, I would have ripped his hair right off. Just the way the body's designed. I found in all my patients, if you rip from the inside to the out, it hurts less. So again, I roll up my gauze. Now this piece here, I do go from right to left. But I should really do it the other way. But it's just a small piece, so I don't really get too crazy about it. And what I do here, again, slide up my safety device, point it close to there. I also want to back the needle out. So watch when I back this needle out. This white piece, the cuff, that's the part that prevents, I don't have to get crazy about the gauze on top because that there is right up to the skin. So when I pull this back, now that needle is exposing. So I'm just going to put this gauze right on top. Makes it easier if you back it out a little bit too. And I'm going to go ahead and pull, and I'll press down. And that needle came right out. I immediately initiate my safety device. Make sure we have a safe work environment here. I'm going to add a little tape here for Eric, and then he's going to bring his finger over. I'm going to put his finger right on top of mine, just like that. Now go ahead and get rid of this.
And that's how it is, folks.
Again, 101 care. You don't get that in the center.
I mean, breaking down is, say, probably 3 minutes, the whole process.
Yeah, if I didn't explain it out, it would probably be about three minutes. Then we go ahead and just clean up my drawing of my medications over here. We throw our medication vials into the sharp containers because it is a glass. It could break, so technically we call it a sharp.
And which the good thing is, he's going to pick up the iPad and right on there I received the Venofer as a documented.
So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how that works.
So every medication you give yourself is getting documented right on there. Even when it's your monthly blood work time, you also have a spot in there where it says you'll be doing blood work or not.
So what we're going to do here is you look at the iPad now, right? So we're going to go to the monitor treatment. I'm going to add a note. I'm going to add in that, sorry. I'm going to add in here Venofer. The dosage, 100 milligrams. And the route was through the access. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that. And it's listed in there. You can see that in the flow sheet. You're going to see a little note there. Venofer, medication given. So I'm going to go in here and just put my little note in here that I was here dialyzing Eric today. And it's just something we do just to keep documentation.
Linda asked, is it IVP?
They don't have that access, so we just put it in there as the access. I'll show you that. I'll show you my options. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
And she said, through what port?
We don't do a port. We do, so if you look here, it's your options either cartridge, access, subcutaneous, or oral. So we do access. But you can see that there. So those are my only options. So we do access as the closest to it. And I usually put in here, I'll put just a little side note. Tolerate treatment well. I like to write in there once again, Venofer, just so the home hemo nurse can identify that we did give the Venofer today.
So if I was out of breath or cramping up or whatever, he would document it right inside the iPad.
Right. So if he had an episode of cramping or anything, that would be documented right in here. Okay, and I could change the time too. I need to change my time entry. All that's accessible to do. So, and again, we have our post-treatment items that we're going to go through. He's going to do a sitting blood pressure, temperature, the weight. One thing about the weight is actually obtained 3 times. It's not just one weight, so the scale you use is 3 times, and then it gives you an average out of the 3. And that's what will be recorded. And then you have your assessment here. Were post labs drawn? No. Any shortness of breath? No. No chest pains? No swelling? No digestive problems? No redness or drainage or swelling? Axis thrill? Yes. Brute? Yes. Time stop bleeding? You should do 10 minutes or less. Again, we're not putting a clamp on the arm, right? I want to stress that. There's no clamps on the arm. If you did put a clamp on the arm, then you want to make sure if this was clamped, that you're filling up here, you're listening to make sure that you can hear the brulee above where the clamp is. So he manually holds, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. We talk about if there's any new bruising or anything. So have you been saying yes or no with that bruise that was up there? No. Okay, and dialyzer appearance, I'm going to put clear. It's here, clear, streaked, or clotted. So that was more of a clear. And then we asked us some questions about, was the cycler blood leak detector cleaned? That's inside the machine. When you lift this up, it's actually a couple of sensors down in here. I won't go too technical in there because I don't want to make this a long video today. Just really want to go over the medications. So, but I know Eric does that on a daily basis, so I'm going to hit yes. It asks if the pack was changed. That's this down here. Right? Was the pack changed? The answer is no. Was the drain line flushed?
No.
No. Was the control unit air filter replaced? No. Control unit air filter cleaned?
Yeah.
Yes. Condo sensor tested?
No.
No. Sediment filter replaced?
No.
Nope. Product water sample taken?
No.
Nope. Dialysate sample taken?
No.
Nope. So then we, like I said, we got to finish filling this out.
And yeah, you see, everything is either yes or no. Or
Yeah, there's nothing challenging about the documentation here. I mean, this, if you're a healthcare professional, this is the dream to have these two in a facility. Or if you can put this on a pole, you know, right next to the patient, and you're going through and you're hitting the iPad, everything crosses over, you're still walking over, checking the patient's access, getting the blood pressure, everything crosses over. When I say everything, I'm just going to show you. Here's the vital signs, the blood pressures, right? Everything's here. The rates, the pressures, it's all recorded. Any notes that are written, when the treatment started, when it ended, the total time, any post-treatment notes, medication given. And as soon as we hit confirm, all this information goes right to the home hemodialysis facility. That nurse there will review it. And that is really,
and everybody's on
the ease of it.
Everybody's on the same page as treatment. They can go back there and look at what's going on, what happened this particular day.
And that's the
and if you did have any alarms occur that day, your nurse will call you up and see how and what you did to recover it.
So if the machine was to alarm, the alarm actually records on the iPad. So when it goes to the center, you're going to see a alarm code there, and the nurse can call and say, "Hey, I saw you got this alarm code. How did you solve it, or what was the situation that caused that?"
For each month, when you go for your monthly visit, she has all them copies per treatment right in front of her. Right.
Okay, check it out. Looks good. Again, I just put that up there. Another one down low. Tape on top of tape. Patients love it every time. You don't have to put 20 pieces of tape on the arm. You put it on the site where it needs to be. That's all you'll have.
So I take my seated.
That's our little trash bag we put right on the side of the machine if we need it. We just roll this up. Right ahead tape, right in the trash. Easy peasy. No need not to be dialyzing in the center where you can do all this easy stuff at home. That's all I really wanted to jump on here and show you guys. Appreciate everyone that joined in. If anybody has any questions, leave a message. We'll definitely get back to you on it. And we appreciate you joining. Once again, the E&T show, Let's Go Home. Every Friday at 9:30 we come to you live. And we throw in a little bonus if something's happening at the end of the treatment we want to share with you. We thought this is a great educational moment. We showed you how to administer Venofer when you have a care partner here with you helping you out. Eric administers it himself. I am not the one doing it. But there is other ways we can do it in the machine if that was the way you want to go, but we know the best way to do it is right here at the end of the treatment. So again, thanks for the ENT show. Let's go home. Everybody that joined us, stay great.